The fact of the matter is the Palestinian cause is an evil one.
Yeah, and Congressman, there is a ceasefire deal on the table right now that the White House is hoping both Israel and Hamas will sign on to. Does this shooting change anything when it comes to the course of the war or the negotiations to end it?
Well, I think it speaks to the importance of the only end of the conflict is complete and total surrender by those who support Muslim terror. In World War II, we did not negotiate a surrender with the Nazis. We did not negotiate a surrender with the Japanese. We nuked the Japanese twice in order to get unconditional surrender.
It's Republican Congressman Randy Fine from Florida, who seems to think it's totally okay to kill a ton of innocent people, to nuke. I mean, he's referencing what the United States did in using nuclear weapons against Japan as if it's a good thing. That was his response to a question about how the killings of 2 Israeli embassy staffers is going to get in the way of a ceasefire. He doesn't want a ceasefire.
Yeah.
No negotiating, no ceasefire. In the past, we just nuke them.
Yeah, so Randy Fine is obviously deeply racist. He's a disgusting pig of a man. And he's also incredibly stupid, and you can attach any adjective you like to that, and I don't care. And so this pig comes on TV and goes, "Can you believe they killed 2 people? It's terrible and disgusting," which is of course true. Then he turns around and goes, "You see how violent they are? That's why we should kill 2 million of them. We should nuke them and kill 2 million of them because of how violent they are."
Yeah, that's
no. Randy, first of all, Randy Fine definitely doesn't speak for all Jewish Americans, not even close. Don't ever think that. This guy's deeply fascistic, and Jews in America are not that way, okay? So I don't want anyone confusing him for a decent moral human being. Okay, second of all, when he talks about a call for violence, he's just so preposterously unintelligent. And by the way, moron, if you use a nuke in Gaza, where do you think the radiation is gonna go? But he's just, I think he's disabled. I really do. I think he's mentally disabled. And so he's like, violence is wrong and they're all very violent, so let's kill them all. He says with a straight face, what an idiot, what a genocidal monster. That's a US congressman, by the way.
Yeah.
I hope we're all proud. And so this is, and then earlier in that clip, he talked about Palestinianism. I've never heard of that. I don't know what that is. He just made it up. So that's a thing where now apparently that's gonna be a thing where if you support Palestinians and don't think they should be slaughtered, you're a Palestinianist. And Palestinianists are of course violent, and that's why they need to be murdered, according to Randy Fine, right? And he smeared all Muslim people, and he's like, you see this Muslim terrorism. The guy isn't even Muslim that did the shooting. But it doesn't matter because Randy Fine can't wait to murder Muslims. So he's like, let's nuke them. You see how I'm against violence? No, I don't, brother. I think you're massively pro-violence. And so the second thing he's saying, Anna, is, those 2 Jewish lives that were lost at the shooting in DC matter. And I agree with him there. They matter massively, okay? He says, but the 2 million Palestinian lives don't matter at all. They're not really human.
Yeah,
and you know who says things like that? Nazis do.
Yep.
So the word Nazi is way, way overused, okay? Oh, I disagree with you slightly, Nazi, okay? Oh, you voted for Trump, Nazi. Okay, you did this, you did that, Nazi. No. And there's a difference between fascism and Nazi. Fascism is we're worried about authoritarian tendencies and an authoritarian takeover. Nazi is mass extermination, right? So you should not use that word unless it's a Nazi like Randy Fine who says, let's do mass extermination. Let's kill millions of people because they're not my people. Since they're not my ethnicity, let's murder them all. That is exactly what a Nazi would say, which is what Randy Fine is.
I think the most painful part about this war and what's been going on for the last, over a year and a half is the fact that there's so many people in our country who have effectively dehumanized one side so much that they just don't see him as human at all. Like they don't care about their slaughter. They can see those videos. I mean, that video of those 2 sisters who lost everyone in their family The older sister's carrying the younger sister because the younger sister had her leg injured and can't walk. How do you watch that video and think to yourself, oh, they're Palestinian, I don't see them as human, who cares? I'm a 38-year-old woman and my mom is in the hospital struggling with cancer, and I fall apart thinking about it. Can you imagine a little 8-year-old girl who's now responsible for her little sister and has no adult to look after them, to protect them? There's bombing everywhere. Hospitals have been bombed, schools have been bombed, refugee camps have been bombed. How do Americans look at that and think to themselves, it's totally fine, that doesn't bother me at all? Oh my God, but the 2 Israelis who were murdered, they matter. And by the way, they do matter. Human lives matter. But I don't understand how you can look at one side and dehumanize them. Whether you're dehumanizing Israelis or dehumanizing Palestinians, it's just sick, it's sick. This whole situation has been a giant mask off moment for some Americans, really.
Yeah, so that's the second reason why I called him a Nazi, because he's dehumanizing the Palestinians just like the Nazis do. It doesn't matter, their lives are worthless. Oh, we already butchered 16,000 Palestinian children, who cares? They're not really human, is the way of thinking for Nazis like Randy Fine. And so I know we had congressional hearings over anti-Semitism, and I'm worried about anti-Semitism. I'll get back to that in a second. And I know we've arrested people, deported people on the theory that criticizing Israel is anti-Semitism, even though they're actually against anti-Semitism. So if you go within 1,000,000 miles of criticizing Israel, let alone actually being anti-Semitic, you're in a world of trouble, and there's gonna be national headlines over and over again. I guarantee you this story, this is the last you'll hear of it, at least in mainstream media. They'll never bring it back up. There'll never be congressional hearings. He won't be arrested. Nobody will be deported, right? And he's calling for the mass murder of Muslims. The mass murder of Muslims. He's a US congressman. By the way, remember when Rashid Tlaib was censured and Ilhan Omar was censured for mild criticism of Israel and lobbyists? Will this guy be censured?
No, of course
No,
not.
he's calling for mass extermination. But it's okay, as long as you're a supporter of Israel. You can do anything you want. And in Muslims, they're dirt. They have no rights in this country. No, there's no anti-Muslim task force. Nobody's gonna do anything about it. And this guy's gonna go on this, and nobody's even gonna bother criticizing him. Because you know why? Because half of Congress thinks what he thinks. And half of Congress thinks, as long as the AIPAC check cleared, I don't care how many Muslims you murder. I don't care, right? Because they dehumanize Muslims all the time while pretending to care about bigotry. Oh, I care so much about anti-Semitism because I'm worried about racism and bigotry. Oh, it's happening to Muslims? Calling for mass extermination from my buddy Randy Fine here. I don't care at all, who cares? So then you don't care about bigotry. All you do is care about protecting Israel because AIPAC paid you. Okay, now, this is really important, guys. Hatred never solves anything. So this guy's filled with hatred. So, okay, like when it's a specific person like this who's a Nazi, you have every right to hate him. But if you spread that hatred to, God forbid, Jews, that would be the worst of the worst. But even to Israeli citizens, don't do that, because hate can never beat hate. The only thing that could drive out hate is love. So the minute that Israelis see Palestinians as human and Palestinians see Israelis as human and brothers and sisters, is the minute they're gonna stop killing each other. Because you don't kill your brother or sister. You kill someone who you've dehumanized and thought it doesn't matter who they are. They're not really human. I could slaughter their children. I could kill this lovely couple who's about to get engaged, right? And it doesn't matter because I dehumanized them. Don't be like Randy Fine. Don't be a Nazi. Don't hate the other side, because that's never gonna solve this. At some point, we all have to love each other so that we could stop rooting for mass extermination like Nazis like Randy Fine. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.